Hi everyone, this is Frienderful video 2. Just to remind you before I continue that Frienderful video 1's work is due this Friday. Hopefully you're almost completing that, or you maybe already have. When you do, that will bring you up to the end of chapter 5 in the audio or in the book. I know some of you have the book. And it will take you to the end of page 13 in the activity booklet. So before I let you know what you have to do on page 14 of the activity booklet, I want to just go back to chapter 4. There are a few things I will quote to you between chapter 4 and chapter 5, the end of chapter 5, to help you with that task. Okay? So on page 56, if you have the book, it says, when the boys realised that there may have been pilots that crashed into the moor, David said, I hope they're dead. They must have killed hundreds of people in Plymouth tonight. I hope they're dead. They deserve it. Then in chapter 5, when he's pulled out of the water by one of the pilots, it says on page 73, they were faces he should hate. Perhaps these were the men who had shot down his father over the French coast and cheered as they watched him crashing into the beaches. These were the men who had bombed London and Plymouth and killed thousands, yet one of them had saved his life. So he has a dilemma on his hands. On the following page, 74, the pilots ask Tucky and David to help them, and David's response is, help you? After what you've done? You come here bombing and killing and you want us to help? Later he says, and what if we tell them where you are? And them being, what if David tells the villagers or Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds or the army or the soldiers, any of them. And the pilot responds, then we shall be caught, my young friend. I cannot move my friend anymore, and I cannot leave him. We are in your hands. So Tucky whispered to David, what do we do? We got to help him, haven't we? He saved your life, Davy. He pushed all the water out of you, and he was risking a lot to light that fire for you. You owe him, Davy. We both do. So Tucky has a very clear opinion as to what they should do. David responds, he's a German, isn't he? He's probably bombed over London. What if it was his bombs that hit the Perkins' house back in Islington, eh? How many do you think he has killed? But Tucky said, he saved your life, Davy. He needn't have done it. He could have let you drown. Then the pilot says later, if you come back, please bring us food. If you send the soldiers, then goodbye. So David has a big decision, which is the name of the task on page 14. Then we go to page 78, and Tucky tries to persuade David by saying, you tell them, if you like, again, them being the villagers or the army or the soldiers or Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds, you tell them if you like, but I can tell you if someone had just risked his own life to save mine, I wouldn't kick him in the teeth. German or not, it doesn't matter. David argues, we can't, Tucky, we can't help Germans to escape. It's not right. We're supposed to be fighting them. We can't. Tucky responded, like I say, you owe them, and what's more, you know you do. All he's asking for is some food and blankets. If you don't think that's a fair exchange for saving your life, then I think it's a pity he went in after you. When you hear on the audio, I think it's a pity he went in after you, or if you're reading page 79 in your book, you are then ready to answer page 14 in the activity booklet. As I said, it's called David Had a Difficult Decision. It's quite easy. You have to write a paragraph about what you would do if you were David and why. So would you tell the soldiers, the army, and Mr. Reynolds and Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds, or would you say nothing and help the two soldiers to escape, the two pilots. So you have to write about each of those situations, the for and against, and what would happen in either situation. Okay? Any queries, just let me know. That is the end of that booklet, but fear not, I have 3 more tasks for you on Friend or Foe. They will be sent in separate attachments later on when I email you. The first attachment is chapter 6, and it gives you a passage of the chapter, and it gives you some comprehension questions to answer and also a writing task. And then when you go to chapter 7, it's very similar. There are two passages and 2 sets of comprehension questions. And then you'll get to the final attachment, which is the final activity this time, and it's a news report on the pilot that was captured. It should be nice and easy for you. There are quite a few prompts to help you with that. Any questions, as I said, please email me. Otherwise, you won't hear from me again until after the 6th of March, which is the deadline of this one. And at that stage, I'll be asking you to write a book review on Friend or Foe. Okay, so until then, goodbye. See you. Bye.